short pass is good for Bull. He turns around and plays on immediately, sends it back into where it came from. South Australia had the numbers back there. Nicely done by their defence to get it out here to Davis, who got it back towards Sharp, who kicked it up towards skipper there in Cahill, I think that is, on the outer side of the ground. He wheels around, sends it forward towards Solly Victoria.
Josh Whitner.
Whitwer might get onto it. He tries to kick it off the ground. Siren sounds for half-time though. And at half-time, the scoreboard reads the VAFA 9-5-59, leading the South Australian Amateur Football League 4-5-29. It's a 5-goal margin. The goal kickers for Victoria before we break for the half-time. The major goal kickers are 2 to Jake Lou of Ajax, and singles each to Tom McKinley, Marshall Rippon. Oh, sorry, it's 2 also to Phil Edgar. You've got 1 in the first and 1 in the second, and 1 to Jack Bull as well. And for South Australia, goal kickers, all singles to Sharp, Solly, Clark and Cahill. Assessment of the first half then?
Well, I think it was Camlavori's quarter, I think. Right there, the last surge forward that South Australia had was unlucky not to score themselves, but the Victorians blew another chance to kick their 10th, I think. The forwards were playing behind when Bull streamed into the forward 50 looking to hit a target, and the South Australians defended strongly. A better showing from the Crow-Eaters that quarter. I think they were around the contest more than they had been in earlier in the earlier quarter, and they took it up to the Vics. But I just think that there's perhaps not that edge of class on the South Australian stage. I think that's the big difference is the Vics are doing more and more with the football, and they're doing a little bit more often.
Yeah, I think the midfielders at this stage probably look like a little bit more balance and a little bit more time when they're over the ball and carrying the ball through the midfield and going forward. I think South Australia is certainly looking more dangerous to the likes of Paul Cahill, Luke Emanuel down forward on the left foot. Certainly more opportunities being created, but they need to get a little bit more rebound from defence for mine and a little bit better ball usage through the middle, and hopefully the second half they can bounce back.
We'll take a break. Join us again in 15 minutes' time for the second half of this match between the VAFA and the SAAFL. Welcome back to Thurbridge Oval. If you're joining us, wherever you're joining us, around through the internet live stream of this match. For those of you watching at home, there was a couple of questions on the VAFA's Twitter about the fitness of Josh Ludsky. It is a corked thigh, for those wondering, and he is still just going through some warm-up processes, still undecided whether he'll get back out there. We can just see him in front of us having a bit of a run, but he is going to start on the bench. At half-time, Victoria 9-5-59, leads South Australia 4-5-29.
Is there really questions on Twitter?
There is, yeah. We've had it. People are watching the live stream through VAFAU23v.com.
Oh, modern technology, it's a wonder. So at half-time, I believe you went down the rooms?
Yeah, went down to the rooms, had a bit of a listen to see what Andrew Hayes, the coach of Victoria, had to say. And was a bit disappointed with the way that the ease with which South Australia were clearing the ball out of the middle in that second quarter, and implored his midfielders to get on top. And in fact, the move is that Ned Hunt, number 7, is going to run with hands from South Australia, who was getting a lot of the ball in that second term as we get the third quarter underway in the middle of Thurbridge Oval. And Victoria again have use of the attacking end of the ground. They get the clearance. Pempathy kicks it up towards full forward. Lou on the lead, can't take a mark. Looks like he's got the glove on there, does Lou, for this second half. Comes back only as far as Walsh for Victoria. Short kick's okay around the line to Jamison, who marks. Just went out of bounds on the full kick, a bit too wide for him. Free kick to go to South Australia at right half back.
And just a half-time in the VIP function there, the pies were warm, and discussing with a lot of the stalwarts of South Australia, a couple of the Div 2, Div 3 players, the consensus was winning plenty of the ball, perhaps burning the ball, not doing as well with the ball as some of their Victorian counterparts.
And some news from the Victorian rooms. Josh Ludsky, who left the field earlier, has a corky, and
yeah, we just went with that.
went through that.
Yeah, apparently that's all over Twitter at the moment.
A few questions from people that are watching the game through VAFAU23v.com about the fitness of Josh.
Yep, and the other news, I don't know whether you've covered it already.
Ned Hunt to go to hands.
You got it?
Got that as well.
Can they like us on Facebook or?
They can like the VAFA through Facebook.
Or, of course, the SAAFL. Go to SAAFL.asn.au.
In the meantime, Phil Eger's got a shot for goal here for Victoria from about 35 metres out. He's got 2 today, 1 in each quarter. He has now got 3 today, 1 in each quarter, and he gets the Vic's first goal inside a couple of minutes of this third quarter. They got a 10-5-65 over South Australia, 4-5-29. It's margin out to 6 goals now. Now, Tom, you said to me off air before we came back on, you sort of put a margin out there that you thought might be today?
Yeah, look, I've got to be honest with you, the class of Victoria, it's all over the ground, and the thing that worries me the most is you don't even need your shots coming from quality scoring areas. The boys are finishing their shots for goals beautifully. I think Victoria probably by 8 goals at this stage would be my tip.
Here's a go for South Australia though through Sharp, who sends it inside, although it's going to be chopped off there by Thomas. Touched off the boot, it must have been, or play on because he didn't complete the mark. Victoria under pressure. Hunt wins the football. Hand pass backwards towards Kennedy. He couldn't quite get it. Pushing in hard there was Thomas again, tried to paddle the ball out. Walsh wraps up his South Australian opponent and we'll have a ball up at centre half forward.
One thing that certainly has impressed me with South Australia is they haven't been pushed around. Traditionally, Victoria, a very strong-bodied team. South Australia certainly have been going with them in the contests.
I think what we're saying, that South Australian have the bigger bodies today.
Yep.
So, they're winning in that department at least. Here they go inside again, South Australia. Worked under the football. Oh, very nicely done there from Hood. Little hand pass back okay, but it's going to come out here with Thomas, the University Blacks player. Gets it out to his skipper today, Jack Bull from Collegians. And he kicks down the line. That's okay for Kennedy from Old Zavarians. So, real mix of teams. 15 clubs represented in this 22 from the VAFA. Old Scotch have the most representatives with 3. Kennedy goes down the line. Bull rose from the mark that Williams couldn't take and kicks beautifully into the path of Patty. And he takes a mark on a lead and can go back and have a set shot for goal.
A beautifully measured kick from the skipper then. He had some options and just chipped it in front and allowed Paddy to run onto it.
Certainly was a well-weighted kick there, and every forward's dream there, and South Australian defender Josh Rosenrule from Port District having no chance of stopping that one. Looks like he may have caught one to the schnoz as well there, Josh. Got a big bandage there across the hooter.
And that's just pushed wide, that kick there from Gus Paddy for a minor score. 10-6-66 to 4-5-29. 4.5 minutes gone in the third term.
Luke Emanuel there up and down before acceptances, and stacks on here. We'll call for another ball up here from the umpire.
So it's 10-6 Victoria, 4-5 South Australia. Gone 4.5 minutes, third term here at beautiful Theberton Oval, where the wind is very gentle and the football's good.
There's another plane coming in this time.
It's plane number 3 at Adelaide Airport Stadium.
Well, it's good. There's only one every half hour, which is, it makes it easier, 1 1/4 for us as commentators. It's not the busiest air route in the world, I imagine.
What are you saying? People don't want to come into South Australia?
I've seen more planes leave than come in so far, so...
Tell you what, you don't come to Theberton Oval and say that.
Hunt it is for Victoria, who's got the ball at the half-back flank. Kick goes wide to the outer side, and nice mark taken, not paid there to Pemberthy. Play on, said the umpire, he does so. Hand passes over the top here to the running Thomas. He delivers up towards half-forward.
Great
kick to Lou. Lou runs to 50, delivers to the advantage of Victoria. Goss flew when he probably shouldn't have. Chance for Bull to run onto it. He can't do so. Hand pass just eluded him. It goes in. He might give away a free kick here, Bull. He does, just in the back of his South Australian opponent.
Put a saddle on him there. It's a free kick every time. Probably clumsy play there from Jack Bull.
So South Australia clear to the outer side. And a nice mark and play on there by Fotheringham. runs around and kicks to the middle of the ground towards the manual direction. Couldn't quite get it. Goes forward for Victoria.
Victoria.
Back to Jamison from 55. Delivers to the pocket and a lovely pass. And mark is taken there by Patty. And he can go back and line up and try and kick the goal that he couldn't manage earlier. 10-6-66 to 4-5-29.
Once again, no fault of the South Australian defender Josh Rosenhall. When the ball's coming in like that, when the on-bowlers don't have pressure on the kick, they can deliver like that, the classy Victorian on-bowlers, and you can't stop those ones.
Hasn't got a goal today, Paddy, until now. So he's got his first of the afternoon. He's got 1 goal, 2 today, and Victoria have got their 11th. 11-6-72. It's just margin just getting beyond South Australia now, 4-5-29.
Gentlemen, tell me a little bit about, I noticed the Victorian coaching panel sitting up in one of the grandstands here. What are your thoughts behind that?
I think they just want the best viewpoint so they can oversee the game, and we've got Tim Noonan, the football operations manager, doing the boundary. I think they're going on radio down to the bench, so you can see they're talking to each other via the radios down to the bench. So sensible play. He goes north. He's a 3-time Big V player. Kicks it out of the middle towards McKinley. Now, I think he's represented the Vics on a few occasions as well. Strong tackle by McKinley on the South Australian opponent. Will have a ball up outer side of the ground.
Of course, the players playing today for Victoria and also those that represent the VAFA in the 2 senior games against the VCFL later in the year will be have a chance to tour Ireland this year in October for a series of international rules games. It's a great highlight. I went myself 2 years ago. It's a fantastic trip.
VAFA to take on a series of GAA teams over there in international rules format. So
including the All-Ireland team, I understand.
That's right. That's been confirmed now. That'll be their warm-up game before they play the Australians. Whether the Australians send their Indigenous side or...
They are playing... they're not playing Gaelic football, they're actually playing international rules?
International rules, yep.
Of course, Victoria, current 3-time Gaelic football Australasian minor champions, doing good things in Gaelic football as well, Victoria.
It goes down towards half-forward for South Australia, but Caven's back there, and he's been a real fortress for them at halfback. Simon Caven, the St Bernard's defender, takes the mark. He kicks it down the line towards Hunt. Ed Hunt takes the mark and kicks up towards the lead from McKinley. Good hands from McKinley, although it was just punched out of them at the last minute. We'll have a boundary throw on outer side. Left half forward for Victoria.
In front of the huge crowd on the outer side there. There's got to be at least a dozen of them out there.
Oh, they're all congregating these beautiful terraces here around us.
Good viewing area out here at Thebon, this side of the ground.
Bull won the clearance for Victoria.
Holding on there, no free kick.
Do you think you'll become more parochial as the call goes?
Well, I call them as I see them, and the umpire obviously didn't say that one, but it was bad error.
I'll tell you what, the umpires haven't done a bad job today, though. Generally, they've let it go. A couple of questionable holding the ball decisions, but all in all, a sound effort by the umpires.
This is where South Australia are falling down at the moment as Davis kicks down the line, didn't really have a target in mind, blazed away, and all Victoria back there through Thomas, who clears it, but that was a poorly executed kick, and Hand drops in and takes the mark for South Australia.
Into a nest of South Australians now. Hand needs to get his ball usage right. He goes long and direct to the left forward pocket. It's Solly up, I believe. At the base of the pack. Oh, fantastic
effort. A miracle goal.
Was that Whitworth perhaps from
it was Whitworth.
Deep in the forward pocket. Daring to dream and nearly pulling off the remarkable.
Yeah, great effort on the last line of defence. He's just got a couple of behinds today, Whitworth.
And change for South Australia. The man with the biggest cars in the SAAFLU, Tom Schlicker, comes off for Angus Tolney. 2 penny. Well, that couldn't have been Whitner because Whit was on the bench. That might have been Bradley Hood that had the shot from the pocket.
Actually, that's who I wrote the behind against. So. Here he is now. A chance to have a shot at goal.
And yes. The Vics there just turning the ball over, not clearing it, and it's a real opportunity now for the Crow Eaters to kick their 5th of the afternoon.
Unselfish play there from young Bradley Hood from Salisbury North. sending the ball across to Lukey Manuel. And Lukey Manuel's been in a rich vein of form this year. He's kicked 4 or 5 goals on several occasions this year, and I think he'll kick this one straight through the middle. So that's not Luke Manuel, is it? That's Paul Cale.
And it's a point. It was a shocking kick.
It's
Right off the
Luke
side.
Manuel.
So the Vicks to load up again. South Australia employing the zone. And the chip into the back pocket there finds Bull.
4:7:31 to 11:6:72. Victoria well on top here at Thebarton Oval. It's under 23 match, VAFA versus the SAAFL. Chance for Davis, who has a flying shot at goal, and on the last line of defence, almost hacked off the ground. It has crossed the line for one behind. And just the umpire making Bart Walsh bring it back as he went to play on. Nice flying or hack out of the air, couldn't quite get it across the line. As Harry Lay was there to help see it through for Victoria.
Good strong mark. That's Paul Cale there. Oh, he's gone long for goal. Tell you what, he needed to kick that because he had 2 players, one Lukey Manuel and Angus Twopenny, or Twopney as we like to call him. Yeah.
Behind was signalled by the umpire. Yeah,
right,
there it is again, and there was seemed to be some confusion amongst the South Australians whether the ball crossed the line.
Wasn't it magnificent that we didn't have to go to a score review, but common sense won out, and the right result was found. So the score at the moment, South Australia 4 goals, 9-32, and for those of you watching the live stream, don't be alarmed, Victoria don't have 116 goals, it's 11 goals, 6-72.
It does look a bit like that, doesn't it, on that scoreboard? I did glance up and thought, what's going on?
They're accurate.
These scoreboard attendants have got it missed again. Jamison hand pass over the top for Williams, who just slid past the football. South Australia a chance here now through Fotheringham, who should pick up on the outer side, does, chips around the corner towards the Davis direction, but Paddy goes back, no, so out of bounds on the full, a bit too wide. Paddy takes the free kick at half back for Victoria.
Fotheringham just burning the ball there, but he has been effective, has been getting plenty of it.
Strong mark by Caven on the outer side for Victoria. Goes long with a left boot down the line, and another strong mark in the hands, this time by Gene Vandenbroek. Spins around on the right foot, sends it up towards the Goss direction, forced a punch from the back spot. Crashing through the pack there is Pempathy, couldn't quite take it. South Australia though win out, come away, although they've coughed it up in the middle of the ground. Chance for Williams now on the edge of the square, delivers a pass, just a bit too much heat on it, couldn't quite get it to Bull in time. Hand pass went out there for Thomas. Vandenbroek got it to up towards Goss, who flew from behind, and a mark's been paid to Goss.
I can't work that one out.
For a front-on contact, sorry. Thank you for that, Benny Goodman there. So the umpire pushing out Goss as he flew for the mark with a front-on contact. And he has a free kick to go back from 25 metres out. Little angle to speak of.
Didn't like it.
No, I think Goss was a bit lucky then. But,
yeah, I think so.
He has a chance now to kick his second.
Very close to the man on the mark, and that's resulted in him just pulling it to the left a little. Just the one behind.
And Goss, who leads the Premier section goal kicking with odds of Arians, didn't take his full reward there.
So 33 plays 73. Is that right?
Yep.
No, 33 plays 79, sorry.
No, 73.
Nice mark, nice kick too. 2-on-2 contest, but now the Vicks are in the ascendancy. They've got the numbers and they'll run the ball out again.
Yeah, Josh Bolmeyer just struggling to get into the game.
Sorry, go on, Tom. There.
No, I was just saying, young Josh Bolmeyer, number 20 for South Australia, hasn't been able to get into the game. Fantastic overhead mark, but probably not getting the service that he's used to at his local club at Cheshire Gully. And again, I guess a lot of that comes from the fact that the pressure that Victorian on-ballers are putting on the South Australian opponents when they're distributing the ball.
So 40-point margin, 33 to 73. South Australia trailing Victoria. Hand pass comes out sideways there for Fotheringham. South Australia go inside again, but Victoria again with numbers back. Robertson sitting in the hole in front of to help out his teammate there in Thomas.
Yeah, very much a case of what it was a case in point there. Bradley Hood under a lot of pressure as he kicked the ball. Josh Bolmeyer not able to get to the position he needed to be, take the mark, and it's a bowling.
Here's Robertson, swings on the left. It's ill-directed kick, and South Australia can reload again through Davis. And he kicks long towards the top of the goal square. Big fly from the side there from the South Australian captain, Paul Cahill. Couldn't bring it down. Hand pass out sideways here for Painter.
Swamped.
Got caught a little bit high, but no free kick. Caven got it. Just hacked it, tried to get it out of defensive 50. McKinley had 4 to beat. Davis has got time to kick to the pocket and spot up Manuel. He dropped the mark he probably should have taken, played on, got tackled and brought down, and Kennedy came away with it for Victoria. Up towards Lou, who just got pushed under the football. South Australia got time to mop up on the outer side of the ground, although they tried to take on the tackler, couldn't do so. Working out there is Broadbent. He got it around and wide, and just skill errors creeping into South Australia as they try. They're on top here, but they're letting themselves down with their disposal by foot at the moment. Just as Victoria did there, Robertson worked to go back as that kick missed its target. Back to Walsh. Walsh goes wide there to Vandenbroek, and Vandenbroek takes the mark, and free kick's going to be paid downfield for Robertson being taken out of the contest.
That's Gene dancing the machine. Vandenbroek puts it into the middle, and across they come now, the Vics to the grandstand side, and a man all on his own here is Marshall Rippon, the University Blues player. He drives them forward. Goss turned his back on that contest, and the mark taken in defence by South Australia.
Good mark from Josh Allen.
And Painter should see this one over the line, and he does. It'll be a ball in right in front of us, gentlemen. Grandstand side of Thebbett Oval. We've gone 17.5 minutes, just over 7.5 minutes in the third term, and South Australia really need the next one.
Thrown in, Paddy doing a bit of ruck work. Hand pass comes back out here for Painter on the left, swings it round. Big fly from the side there, unable to complete the mark was Cahill. Although he gets the football now, got dragged down, good chase put on him. Opportunity for Schlicker. Hand pass over the top there to Whitwer. Whitwer into the open goal, and he kicks the goal.
Good build up there for South Australia. The much needed goal, and could this be the start of the run that we need? The run needed to come now. And it started with Cahill there, but good usage, good outlet handball there. Josh Whitner making no mistake for about 25 metres out on a reasonably acute angle.
Cahill's got himself into the game nicely. I think he's gotten better as the day's gone on. But they're going to need a big game from him, I think, to claw their way, if they are to claw their way back into this contest.
Great to see Managing Director of the SAAFLU in front of us here, Johnny Kernahan, just has popped up to say hello. Hello, John.
Thrown up.
Nothing.
In the middle of the ground. Margin back to 34 points in favour of Victoria as Williams breaks out of the middle for Victoria. Forced to fly from behind there and unable to effect a spoil with Sean Glennon. The little man gave away a free kick in the process, so it has to go back.
No, I think he might have paid the mark. If it had been a free, he would have probably allowed the advantage. So I think he's paid the mark there.
Delivery into the Victorian forward line suffered a bit this quarter, I think. A couple of players trying to be a little bit cute sometimes and are not hitting the targets they need to. South Australia work their way out of defence.
Yes, Josh Allen there to Will Painter. Back to Allen from Division 3, Athelston, the Athelston Raggies. I'm not sure what a Raggie is, but he's from the Raggies. Strong player there from South Australia. That's almost been our trademark going forward, looking for Paul Cahill, and he's been strong overhead.
Umpire's just letting it go a bit more at the moment. I don't know if you guys have noticed that as well. Some of those free kicks that were paid early not being paid.
I think it's fair to say the sting has gone out of this game at the moment.
At the moment, probably just a little bit of a flat spot. South Australia really need to take this opportunity, maybe to pinch another one and get within 5 goals and just give themselves a sneaky chance.
He goes north around the corner to Pemberthy direction, but there's little room on that as he's wedged up against the boundary line. We'll have a throw in centre wing outer side of the ground.
He's probably just dropped out of it a little bit, Pemberthy, but very impressive in his first half. Plenty of good touches around the ground.
73 plays 39. The VAFA on top here at Theberton Oval. This under-23 clash that goes towards the championship of the Australian Amateur Carnival.
Yeah, 18 scoring shots to 14, gentlemen. South Australia certainly have had their opportunities. Once again, probably Victoria's ball usage just a little bit better at this stage.
Well wrestled out there by Pemberthy. Hand pass came away, but they couldn't quite get the clearance, Victoria. South Australia do instead. Just duck the head into that tackle, so good umpiring to let that go. In the middle of the ground. Again, a turnover, this time back to Walsh, who kicked off a step up towards Goss, who got crunched between two South Australian defenders. Nicely worked out though. That's going to be coughed up, is it?
Good hands.
Hand pass out there, beautifully done by Lay. Got it backwards. Here's Lou against the boundary line. Kick over the top to Goss in the pocket, and he takes the mark.
Yeah, nice, thoughtful passage there. They just took their time, gave the ball to players to advantage, and we're winding up now with Goss taking a shot for goal. He'll swing around slightly, as he usually does. There he goes, kicks around the corner.
Just across the face, I think, one behind, but
Another minor.
Victoria, 11 goals, 874. South Australia, 5 goals, 939. It's a 35-point lead to Victoria at this stage.
Kick goes down the line.
Beaumont unable to make the contest.
In goes Paddy. Interesting, Paddy I think was making his way towards the interchange then, but saw the contest coming this way.
Third man up over the top's Josh Allen, I think. One of the many Joshuas for South Australia today. Of course, we've got Josh Hand, Josh Allen, Josh Rosenhall, Josh Bolmeyer, and Josh Whitmer. There's another plane coming into beautiful South Australia. Wasn't it?
Yeah, how's the tourist board, you speaking with them at the moment? As the hand pass comes out to Williams, he delivers beautifully.
Lovely
towards
kick
the
here.
line. Chance for North. He takes on the defenders, runs around on the left and screws it through for a goal.
Yes, Rosenhall unfortunately losing his feet there. I think you discussed it earlier on, gentlemen. The top surface quite heavy. It's certainly a day for long stops.
So Victoria move their score along to 12-8-80, leading South Australia 5-9-39, margin back out to 41 points.
And at the just about tick under 24 minutes, South Australia certainly need the next goal if they're to remain in this contest.
Forced to jump early, Pemberthy couldn't quite get over the reach of De Prince. Coming away from the middle of the ground here for South Australia, nicely done for them, although just went a bit too far, sharp, and couldn't get the ball forward. Needed to pump it inside.
Yeah, good follow-up play though from Sharp, giving the handle to Eleftherio and following the play up.
Davis, quick kick out of the pack for South Australia. Goes up towards Whitworth, but Lavori beats his opponent and then runs away and kicks a beautiful pass up towards Lou. Front and centre was Edgar. He mopped up, hand pass wide to McKinley, who gets back onto his preferred right and delivers up towards Goss, who takes a lovely mark overhead.
Yeah, I think the move's been made by South Australia. Solly's gone back down in defence, but there's no stopping those. Unfortunately, this one here, gentlemen, should he put it through, may well be the sealer.
Well, he's missed his last 3 shots as the sharpshooter from the old Zaverians. This time he'll kick from about 45. Distance shouldn't worry him. Very deliberate approach. It's down, it's up, and he's tugged it again to the right for another minor score. So Goss, who has the occasional case of the yips in front of goals in club football, is not faring too well. 1 goal from 5 shots, probably not the return he'd expected.
South Australia breathing a sigh of relief here. Probably just let off the hook with that one a little bit. Out wide into the far back pocket there, and a bit of run from defence here, South Australia. Looking out wide there for Skara. He comes in board to Luke Emanuel with a handball now. It's Josh Allen who transfer play, dangerous cross, and it's going to be Victoria cutting it off here.
That's siren for three-quarter time here from Theberton Oval. At three-quarter time, it is the VAFA 12-9-81. Lead by 7 goals over the SAAFL 5-9-39. We'll take a break and be back in about 5 minutes' time to bring you the coverage of the final quarter of this championship match.